Tips and tricks for staying good and warm when we're out climbing. It's well, my car says 4 degrees today, but realistically it probably feels like about 0 outside, so we'll go and find out. But the first tip is we just don't stop moving. The good old-fashioned British, I'm just going to sit down, have a cup of tea, have a chat with my mates when I get to the crag, doesn't tend to work very well with keeping warm. So it's about being on it right from the off. So I'm going to get the pads out of the car fairly quickly. I'm going to jog about a bit. I might want to do a few star jumps by the car for a first warm up, and then we'll trek up to the boulders and have a go. So the first part of any good warm up we've already started to cover is a pulse raiser. So I've been jumping around, jogging about, and then it's a pretty brisk walk up the hill, carrying the pads. So the heartbeat should be going fairly quickly by now, and the blood should be starting to flow. Then by starting on easy climbing, even if the rock makes the hands a bit colder, we know we're good on the holds and we can keep the contact there, and we can develop a bit of confidence in our feet. But what's really useful is to start to build up a bit of springiness or bounce on the rock. So you want to be climbing fairly swiftly through your warm-ups, provided you're injury free, so that you can get a bit of spring going, which is really useful for getting up the harder problems. And particularly when it's really quite cold, as in good Gritstone conditions, every time you move between problems, just keep going, keep the pulse raisers going, so move quite quickly, jog about, run about with your pads, but just do things that keep your heart rate up and keep your blood flowing between all your problems. And this can be really useful in sustaining being warm throughout the day. Another good way of staying warm is doing 60% traverses with your feet on the floor for a certain amount of time. So you can do this along most problems or up to a certain degree. So you just use your feet for as much support as you need really, and just bounce along. So you're looking for a bit of speed rather than accuracy, to get your blood flow pumping a bit more and move quite quickly. Then once you get to a hard problem that you want to try, there's 2 things that you can do to continue your warm-up on it. So the first one is test-a-goes. Test-a-goes are when we do small links on the problem where we're working out where the holds are, and we are only spending sort of 70 to 80% effort, if that, to ensure that we have a lot of energy left in the tank, but it allows us to warm up steadily. This might be just pulling on the holds once, then letting go. And it's really important that we do this rather than just going full blast straight away, unless of course you think you can flash it, and then you might be allowed. Another way to keep your warm-up going is checking out the entire problem. So it's useful to run around, you run up to the top, check out all the top holds, run back down, being safe of course, don't want to fall off. But it gives you time to keep your pulse rate up and know where you will be going. So check out all the holds at the top, give them a brush so that you're well prepared and you're not going to fall off the top move. Then while we're inspecting the problem, trying some of the moves, it's quite easy to get caught up just trying holding a hold one way. So instead, look at holds from all angles. You may notice a small little dink somewhere or a little pebble on one bit. Little things that allow you to adjust your beta, adjust the angle of your hold, the way you're holding the hold, just so. Then with experience, when you're going for the send go, you often know when it's going to go, when you're feeling just right, you've got that internal heat that you've built up, perhaps the wind's picked up a little bit and it's whipped the moisture off the holds, the little signs the sun's gone behind the clouds, and you brush all the holds, squeak the shoes, and up you go. And the best part of recording yourself climbing is that you can play it back when you did something silly or made an unsmooth sequence. You can play it back, check out what you did, check your beta, and then do the problem again, but much smoother. And that's a really good way to improve at climbing, especially on the Gritstone, where it's all too easy to just jump up, be like, right, done that, and carry on. I'm a bit out of breath from that last climb and scramble at the top.